Before time itself, the Allspark was born, its origins unknown and shrouded in mystery. From this relic of immense power came life, a race of beings who would come to be known as the Transformers. The Allspark was the cornerstone of their existence, their creator, and their ultimate source of power. At the same time, on another corner of the universe, the planet Earth was formed around a dormant entity, Unicron. This ancient being was the core of Earth, a dark force waiting to awaken. Meanwhile, across the stars, another event unfolded. The creators, a mysterious race of biomechanical beings, began cyber-forming organic planets, converting them into the shape-shifting metal known as transformium. One of these planets was prehistoric Earth. Its transformation triggered a cataclysmic event, the extinction of the dinosaurs. The creators harvested the metal and took it to the planet that would become Cybertron. Using it to forge the first robotic race, the Transformers, these beings were designed as explorers intended to venture across the universe, gathering knowledge and resources for their makers. However, somewhere along the way, the creators lost control of their creation. The Transformers became their own masters, forgetting their origin and deifying the Allspark as their sole creator. From the Transformers, 7 leaders emerged. The 7 Primes. These beings set out to explore the galaxy, seeking new energy sources to sustain their race. Their most significant creation was the Star Harvester, a colossal machine designed to drain the energy from the sun to create Energon, the lifeblood of Cybertron. But the Primes lived by one crucial rule: never destroy a planet with life. To power the Star Harvesters, the Primes wield the Matrix of Leadership, a legendary artifact of immense power. It was the key to their machines and their survival. The Primes also created a class of Cybertronian knights, many of whom took on forms inspired by Earth's ancient creatures, such as the dinosaurs. Among these knights was a descendant of the Primes who would one day become one of Cybertron's most revered leaders, Optimus Prime. In 1700 BC, the 7 Primes arrived on Earth, intending to harvest its sun. But when they discovered humanity living on the planet, they called off their plan except for one. This Prime, disgusted by humans, rebelled against his brothers and sought to take the sun's energy for himself. His betrayal marked the birth of the Decepticons, a faction of Transformers that would forever be opposed to the Autobots, who were loyal to the remaining Primes. A great war broke out on Earth. The treacherous Prime, later known as the Fallen, was defeated by his 6 brothers, who stole the Matrix of Leadership and sealed it away in a tomb. The Primes sacrificed themselves, creating a burial ground with their own bodies to hide the Matrix from the Fallen, his name stricken from history, and he retreated into the shadows waiting for his chance to rise again. Over the centuries, human civilization unknowingly built their greatest monuments atop the remains of the Transformers. The Great Pyramid constructed around the Star Harvester, while the Tomb of the Primes was hidden beneath the ancient city of Petra. Clues were left behind, riddles to mark the location of these relics, but the knowledge was lost to time. The Fallen's agents, known as Seekers, were sent to Earth to find the Matrix. They failed in their quest. Without Energon to sustain them, they were abandoned by the Fallen and left to perish. Meanwhile, on Cybertron, peace reignited, at least for a time. In the absence of war, Cybertron thrived, but the peace would not last. The Fallen, still hidden, found a new apprentice, a young warrior named Megatron. He tempted Megatron with power, promising him control over the Allspark, the artifact that had given life to the Transformers. Under Megatron's leadership, the Decepticons rose again. They sought to seek the Allspark, triggering a war that would ravage Cybertron for eons. The Autobots, initially led by Sentinel Prime, fought valiantly, but the toll of the conflict was too great. Cybertron began to wither and die. In desperation, Sentinel Prime made a secret pact with Megatron. Together, they planned to use the Earth's resources to repair Cybertron. Sentinel invented a series of devices called Pillars, capable of creating a space bridge between the two worlds. Their plan was to transport Cybertron to Earth, where they would harvest the planet's energy. But Sentinel's plans never came to fruition. His ship, the Ark, was shot down before it could reach the Earth. Unaware of the alliance between Sentinel and Megatron, the Decepticons attacked the Ark, leaving it adrift in space, believed it to be destroyed. With Sentinel gone, leadership of the Autobots fell to a young knight, Optimus, who would come to be known as Optimus Prime. With the loss of Sentinel Prime, Cybertron continued its slow death. Eventually, the Allspark, the one hope for their planet's revival, was lost to the far reaches of space. Desperate, both the Autobots and the Decepticons abandoned Cybertron, setting out to find the Allspark and save their dying world. In 10,000 BC, the Allspark crash-landed on Earth, where it remained hidden for millennia. Around 1000 BC, Megatron discovered its location and journeyed to Earth. intent on claiming it for himself. But before he could retrieve it, he was frozen beneath the Arctic ice, his body trapped. As the centuries went on, the planet Earth played a more significant role in the Transformers' fate. In 5th century AD, the sorceress Quintessa, claiming to be the creator of the Transformers, sought to restore Cybertron. She devised a plan to drain the life force of Unicron, Earth itself, to repair the damage done by the loss of the Allspark. However, her Guardian Knights, realizing her malevolent intent, stole the control staff needed to carry out the plan and hid it on Earth. In the year 484 AD, the staff was discovered by the human wizard Merlin, who promised to keep the secret of the Transformers. In return, the Knights bestowed upon him the staff's power, coding it into his DNA. When Merlin passed away, his body along with the staff was entombed in a ship guarded by the Knights at the bottom of the ocean. And as the years passed, more Transformers arrived on Earth, each playing a role in the planet's history. Their presence was hidden by the secret order of the Witwickens, who were tasked with protecting the legacy of Merlin and his descendants. The Earth, now linked to both the Transformers' past and their future, would soon become the final battleground in a war that spanned millennia. In the early 1800s, two of Cybertron's greatest warriors, Optimus Prime and Ironhide, made their way to Earth. While Cybertron was in turmoil from the growing tensions between Autobots and Decepticons, the two Autobots found themselves on a distant planet embroiled in human conflicts. They arrived during one of Earth's most volatile periods, the Napoleonic Wars. Ironhide, ever the battle-hardened warrior, participated in the famous Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. The seas raged with warships, but Ironhide, in his disguised form, fought fiercely alongside the British fleet, ensuring victory against Napoleon's forces. Not far behind was Optimus Prime, who played a crucial role in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, a defining moment in European history. Though neither human nor Transformer understood each other's full nature, their fates were intertwined in these pivotal moments. Their involvement, however, was meticulously hidden by the Order of the Witwickens, a secret group dedicated to covering the Transformers' presence on Earth. By the 1860s, the Transformers' influence had spread across the globe. Drift, a former Decepticon turned Autobot, found himself in Japan, alongside another Cybertronian. The two Autobots integrated into the culture, learning the ancient traditions of the samurai. Their time there was one of introspection, adopting the discipline and honor of their human counterparts, forging a new path of peace in contrast to their past lives of war. However, not all Cybertronians sought peace. In 1883, the world witnessed a violent eruption of Krakatoa, a volcanic event that devastated the region. Amidst the chaos, one figure stood at the heart of the disaster: Megatron. The Decepticon leader had been on Earth for some time, operating in the shadows, but his involvement in Krakatoa's eruption remained a secret, once again buried by the Order of the Witwickens. After this event, Megatron fled to the Arctic, where fate would trap him in a frozen tomb beneath the ice, waiting for the day he would be awakened. In 1897, Captain Archibald Witwicky, a daring explorer leading the National Arctic Circle expedition, made a discovery that would change everything. During the expedition, the ice beneath Witwicky's feet gave way, and he tumbled into a hidden cavern, coming face to face with the frozen form of Megatron. Unbeknownst to Witwicky, his accidental discovery activated Megatron's navigation system, triggering a beam of light that imprinted the coordinates of the Allspark, the very source of life for the Transformers, onto Witwicky's spectacles. Rescued by his crew, Witwicky returned to civilization, but he was never the same. The encounter had left him mentally scarred, haunted by visions of Cybertronian hieroglyphics and the secrets of the universe. As the years passed, Witwicky's sanity deteriorated. He was institutionalized, blind, and rambling about alien symbols, but his words held the key to the Transformers' greatest treasure: the location of the Allspark. His discovery, known only to a select few, was classified by the US government as Project Iceman, ensuring Megatron's frozen form remained hidden from the world. The dawn of the 20th century saw the continued hidden presence of the Transformers on Earth. In the early 1910s, as tensions in Europe escalated towards what would become World War I, more Autobots and Decepticons arrived on the planet. Among the Autobots were Ironhide and Bulldog, both of whom aided the British and US military forces. Meanwhile, Starscream and Shockwave, two of the most notorious Decepticons, sided with the Germans. Escalating the conflict beyond human comprehension, their battles raged across the fields and trenches of Europe. Yet the truth of their involvement was once again concealed by the ever-watchful Witwicken. By the end of the World War, Ironhide left Earth, returning to Cybertron, while Bulldog, his mind addled by years of war, retired to Castle Fulgen. In 1913, nearly 12,000 years after the Allspark crash landed on Earth, the artifact was rediscovered by a secretive group known as the First Seven. This discovery led to the formation of Sector 7, a covert government agency tasked with studying alien phenomena and protecting the Allspark from external threats. As the world plunged into another global conflict in the 1940s, the Autobots once again found themselves embroiled in humanity's struggles. Hound joined the United States Medical Service Corps, using his skill to assist injured soldiers. Meanwhile, the Autobot lieutenant and the HMS Alliance, disguised as part of the British military and Royal Navy respectively, aided the Allies in their fight against Nazi Germany. During this time, Bumblebee made his first appearance on Earth. Known then as ZB-7, Bumblebee fought alongside the Allies in a special unit called the Devil's Brigade, where he befriended a young Sir Edmund Burton, a member of the Witwickens. By the end of the war, Bumblebee parted ways with Burton and continued his search for the Allspark. On April 30th, 1945, history recorded Adolf Hitler's death by suicide. But the truth was far stranger. The Fuhrer had been killed by his own watch, an artifact that had been manipulated by the Decepticons to turn on its master, a final act of destruction orchestrated in the war's chaotic last days. In the 1960s, it brought a new kind of conflict, the race to the moon. Unbeknownst to the world, the true stakes of the space race were far higher than anyone realized. In 1961, the Ark, Sentinels Prime's long-lost ship, was finally discovered after it crash-landed on the moon centuries earlier. The US and Soviets scrambled to be the first to explore this wreckage, sparking the great space race of the decade. In 1963, the USSR's Luna 4 probe captured images of strange-looking rocks and drag marks on the moon's surface, evidence of the Decepticons' involvement. Meanwhile, the Americans, led by NASA's Apollo program, launched a series of manned moon landings. In July 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin set foot on the moon, but their mission's true purpose was top secret: investigating the Ark. A strategic 21-minute blackout was staged during the mission, giving NASA time to explore the crash site without alerting the world of the alien presence. A second American moon landing later that year continued the excavation, uncovering more of the Ark's secrets. The Decepticons, however, worked tirelessly in the shadows, manipulating agents within the US and Soviet governments to ensure their plans remained hidden. By the 1970s, Soundwave, one of Megatron's most trusted lieutenants, had begun recruiting human agents to manipulate events on Earth, ensuring that no further missions to the moon would uncover the truth of the Ark. His influence extended across the globe, creating a network of pawns who would serve the Decepticons' cause for decades to come. On December 25, 2003, an extraordinary event took place in space. What would change everything, the Beagle 2 rover transmitted 13 seconds of footage from the surface of Mars, revealing the first clear evidence of alien activity. This discovery was quickly classified top secret by Sector 7, a shadowy government organization dedicated to monitoring extraterrestrial threats. Official reports claimed the mission was a failure, with the rover mysteriously going missing, but behind the scenes, the revelations marked the first sign of the Transformers' presence in our solar system. In 2007, the threat came much closer to home. Blackout, a formidable Decepticon, descended upon Afghanistan, disguising himself as a military helicopter. In a devastating attack, he destroyed a helicopter and proceeded to assault the SOCONT Forward Operations Base in Qatar. His mission was simple: gather information on the secret Project Iceman, a government effort to study the frozen remains of Megatron buried beneath the Arctic Circle. While Blackout failed in his attempt, his ally Frenzy succeeded where he could not. Frenzy infiltrated Air Force One and hacked into the government databases, uncovering the key to the Decepticons' search for the Allspark: Sam Witwicky. Sam, the descendant of Archibald Witwicky, unknowingly possessed the coordinates of the Allspark on his great-great-grandfather's glasses. To protect Sam from the Decepticons closing in, the Autobots sent one of their own, Bumblebee. Disguised as a beat-up Camaro, Bumblebee ensured that Sam would purchase him from a used car lot, setting the stage for a critical alliance. After revealing himself to Sam and his friend Michaela, Bumblebee called for reinforcements, summoning Optimus Prime and his team of Autobots to Earth. The Decepticons, led by Starscream and Barricade, were relentless in their pursuit of the Allspark. A fierce battle unfolded as the Autobots and their human allies, including soldiers William Lennox and Robert Epps, tried to protect Sam. Despite their best efforts, Bumblebee, Sam, and Michaela were captured by Sector 7 and taken to the Hoover Dam, where the Allspark was hidden and Megatron lay in frozen stasis. Using Archibald Witwicky's glasses, the Autobots tracked the Allspark to the dam and launched a daring rescue mission. Unfortunately, their actions inadvertently led the Decepticons straight to their goal. Starscream and his forces attacked the dam, and Megatron was revived. His centuries-long slumber finally ended in a climactic battle in Mission City. The Autobots and Decepticons fought for control of the Allspark. In a final act of desperation, Sam plunged the Allspark into Megatron's chest, destroying him and ending the immediate threat. With Megatron defeated and the Allspark shattered, the Autobots were granted asylum on Earth. Optimus Prime sent a message to space, calling any remaining Autobots to join them on their new home. While the US government disbanded Sector 7 and covered up the events in Mission City, the dead Decepticons were dumped in the Laurentian Abyss, and for a brief time, Earth was safe. The peace was short-lived. In 2009, the Decepticons, now under the command of the Fallen, a Prime who had betrayed his brothers millennia ago, began a new assault on Earth. Starscream and Shockwave led the charge, searching for the Star Harvester and the Matrix of Leadership, the key to activating it. This ancient machine had the power to drain Earth's sun, creating enough energon to revive Cybertron, but at the cost of Earth's destruction. Sam Witwicky, still connected to the fate of the Transformers, discovered a sliver of the Allspark hidden in his old clothes. Upon touching it, his mind was flooded with Cybertronian symbols, giving him visions of the Matrix and the Star Harvester. Realizing the importance of this knowledge, the Decepticons sought to capture Sam, leading to a fierce battle where Nest, a joint Autobot-human strike force, managed to defeat several Decepticons, including Demolisher and Sideways. Sam, now a target, went on the run with Mikaela, Bumblebee, and new allies, including Leo Spitz and the Autobots known as the Twins. Along the way, they discovered more about the ancient history of the Transformers, learning of the Fallen's betrayal and his quest for the Matrix. Their journey led them to the Smithsonian, where they revived Jetfire, an ancient seeker who had turned against the Fallen. Jetfire teleported the group to Egypt, where the final battle for the fate of the Earth would take place. At the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Decepticons gathered in force. Devastator, a massive combiner, tore open the pyramid to reveal the Star Harvester. Meanwhile, Sam located the Tomb of the Primes and recovered the Matrix, only for it to disintegrate into dust in his hands. Undeterred, Sam charged into battle, but a blast from Megatron killed him. In death, Sam's soul communed with the dynasty of the Primes, who restored him to life and reformed the Matrix, transferring the knowledge of the Allspark into it. Sam used the Matrix to revive a defeated Optimus Prime, but the Fallen seized the opportunity and activated the Star Harvester. With the sun's destruction imminent, Jetfire sacrificed himself, allowing Optimus to combine with his parts to gain the power necessary to defeat the Fallen. In the final showdown, Optimus destroyed both the Fallen and the Harvesters, saving Earth. As a result of the Fallen's attack, the existence of the Transformers became public knowledge. Though victorious, the Autobots knew the war was far from over. Wounded and humiliated by his defeat, Megatron fled to Namibia, Africa, where he set up a small camp with the remaining Decepticons. In hiding, he took on an Earth form to better conceal himself and began nurturing the Decepticon hatchlings, young Transformers who needed energon to survive. Megatron, now more determined than ever, licked his wounds and planned his next move, knowing that his war with the Autobots was far from over. In the aftermath of the battle against the Fallen, Sam Witwicky was hailed as a hero. In 2009, he was awarded a medal by President Barack Obama at the White House for his bravery in saving Earth. It was during this ceremony that he had a fateful encounter with Carly Spencer, an administrative assistant for the British Embassy. Sam's life had changed dramatically since his first encounter with the Autobots, but not all of it was for the better. Shortly after the ceremony, Mikaela broke up with him for reasons unknown. Despite his hero status, Sam's life took a strange turn. While Seymour Simmons, now fabulously wealthy from the success of his book detailing his experiences with the Transformers, basked in fame, Sam found himself struggling to find a purpose. He applied to work with Nest, the Autobot human military organization, but was turned away by the new National Security Director. Under new leadership, Nest relocated to Washington, D.C., operating under the cover name Department of Human Health and Services. Director Merring quickly imposed new regulations, including revoking Bumblebee's permission to live with Sam and deploying a network of energon detectors around the globe to monitor Decepticon activity. As Sam struggled with his newfound insignificance, Carly got a new job working for businessman Dylan Gould, a man with deep secret ties to Decepticons. Meanwhile, Megatron's forces gathered in secret, preparing for a final strike against the Autobots. In 2013, Megatron's final plan was set in motion. With Decepticon activity at an all-time low on Earth, Soundwave, Megatron's trusted lieutenant, orchestrated an event in Chernobyl. Under the guise of alien activity, Nest was called to investigate, only to discover the fuel cell of the long-lost Ark. Sentinel Prime ship, Optimus Prime and Ratchet uncovered the wreckage of the Ark on the moon and found the body of Sentinel Prime, who had once been Optimus's mentor. Using the Matrix of Leadership, Optimus revived Sentinel, unaware of the dark betrayal that was about to unfold. Megatron had planned everything. Sentinel Prime had once made a pact with Megatron to restore Cybertron by sacrificing Earth. As soon as Sentinel was revived, he revealed his true allegiance, killing Ironhide and aligning with Megatron to activate a space bridge. This bridge would teleport Cybertron into Earth's solar system, allowing the Decepticons to drain the planet's resources. The Decepticons, led by Sentinel, invaded Washington, D.C., forcing the Autobots into desperate retreat. Optimus and his team boarded the Xantium, intended to leave Earth, but their ship was destroyed by Starscream before it could escape. With Autobots seemingly gone, the Decepticons launched a full-scale invasion of Chicago, enslaving the population and preparing to bring Cybertron into Earth's orbit using the space bridge. Sam, now working with former Nest Commander Robert Epps and a group of human allies, infiltrated Chicago to rescue Carly from Dylan Gould, who had been working with the Decepticons all along. But just as all hope seemed lost, the Autobots returned. Their apparent deaths had been a ruse, and now they were ready to strike back. An epic battle unfolded in the streets of Chicago. The Autobots fought valiantly against the Decepticons, destroying the control pillar for the space bridge and causing the bridge to collapse, ravaging Cybertron and cutting off the Decepticon fleet. Optimus Prime engaged Sentinel Prime in a final confrontation. As they fought, Carly convinced Megatron that Sentinel would take control of the Decepticons and betray him. Seizing the moment, Megatron attacked Sentinel, wounding him, but it wasn't enough to spare Megatron. Optimus, knowing that Earth was now the Autobots' only home, executed both Megatron and Sentinel, ensuring that their threat would never return. In the wake of the Chicago invasion, the world was forever changed. The destruction left behind by the battle turned public opinion against the Transformers, both Autobots and Decepticons. Nest was shut down, and all human Autobot operation programs were dismantled. The once heroic Autobots were forced into hiding as humanity began hunting Transformers indiscriminately. CIA agent Harold Attinger formed a covert task force called Cemetery Wind to eliminate Transformers, regardless of their faction. Publicly, Attinger claimed to be hunting Decepticons, but behind the scenes, he worked with Joshua Joyce, the head of Kinetic Solutions Incorporated. Joyce, using the remains of the fallen Transformers, developed man-made transforming robots. Harnessing their technology for profit, KSI even took the Autobot brains captive to extract information from the severed heads of Megatron and Sentinel Prime. Amidst this new wave of anti-Transformer sentiment, the creators, the ancient beings responsible for creating the Transformers, sent the bounty hunter Lockdown to Earth with one mission: capture Optimus Prime. Lockdown allied with Attinger and Joyce, promising them cyberforming seed in exchange for their help in tracking down Optimus. This seed had the power to create Transformium, the raw material needed to create Transformers, but unbeknownst to them, its use would come at the cost of Earth's destruction. Optimus, badly damaged in an encounter with Cemetery Wind and Lockdown in Mexico City, ordered the Autobots into hiding. Disguised as a beat-up truck, Optimus fled to Texas, where he was discovered by Cade Yeager, a struggling inventor. Cade unknowingly reawakened Optimus, and together with his daughter Tessa and her boyfriend Shane, they went on the run from Cemetery Wind. Optimus regrouped with Bumblebee, Hound, Drift, and Crosshairs, and they launched an assault on KSI's Chicago headquarters, discovering that the company was building a new Decepticon army led by none other than Megatron, who was reborn as Galvatron. In 2018, the battle between the Autobots and the Decepticon army came to a head in Hong Kong, as KSI's man-made Transformers, including Galvatron and Stinger, wreaked havoc. Lockdown returned to capture Optimus. During the chaos, Brains revealed that Galvatron had been manipulating KSI all along, and the Decepticons were ready to rise again. With the aid of Cade Yeager, his family, and the Autobots, Optimus escaped from Lockdown's ship and rallied his forces. In a desperate move, Optimus freed Lockdown's prisoners, the legendary Dinobots, and convinced them to join the fight. A titanic battle erupted in the streets of Hong Kong as the Autobots fought to keep the seed out of Galvatron's hands. Lockdown, furious at Optimus' escape, returned for one final showdown. In a fierce fight, Optimus killed both Lockdown and Attinger, but Galvatron escaped, vowing to continue the Decepticons' war. With Earth still in danger, Optimus took the seed and departed the planet to confront the creators, leaving the Autobots behind to guard Cade and his family. Following the chaos of the previous battles, most nations declared Transformers illegal. The military created the TRF to hunt them down, forcing Autobots and Decepticons alike into hiding. Many, like former agent Seymour Simmons, found refuge in Cuba, while Cade Yeager, a known ally of the Autobots, became a fugitive. He and Optimus Prime's team, along with the Dinobots, hid in a South Dakota junkyard as his daughter Tessa went off to college, losing contact with him. Meanwhile, Quintessa, an ancient sorceress, set her plan into motion. Having taken control of Cybertron's shattered remains, she began moving the planet towards Earth. She recruited Megatron, now reborn as Galvatron, but being referred to as Megatron again, to find a staff hidden on Earth. The key to her ultimate plan of draining the life force of Unicron, the ancient entity embedded within Earth. In 2023, Cade and Bumblebee encountered Isabella, an orphan of the Battle of Chicago, and her companion Squeaks during an investigation in Chicago. Before a dying Transformer passes, he gives Cade a talisman, marking him as the legendary Last Knight. Elsewhere, Optimus Prime during his space journey falls under Quintessa's control and becomes Nemesis Prime. Megatron, now allied with the TRF, hunts Cade. However, Cade, aided by Edmund Burton and the loyal Cogman, escape. Together with Vivian Wembley, Merlin's last descendant, they discover the Knight ship at the ocean floor and retrieve the staff. As Nemesis Prime arrives, Bumblebee breaks Quintessa's hold over him, but Megatron steals the staff and brings it to his mistress. With Cybertron nearing Earth, the Knights awaken and attack Optimus, but Cade, using the activated talisman, saves him. The Knights recognize Cade as the Last Knight and join forces with the Autobots. In a final effort, Quintessa begins draining Unicron's life force through Stonehenge, but the combined forces of Autobots, Knights, and the TRF storm her base. Vivian uses her lineage to deactivate the staff, stopping the drain and saving Earth. After the battle, Earth and Cybertron remain physically intertwined. Though defeated, Quintessa fakes her death and disguises herself in human form, preparing for her next move to kill Unicron. That was the original timeline of the Bayverse. Now we go back in time to 1987 and the timeline shifts because both Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast are set in different timelines with different interpretations of who Unicron is. So this is where we make the shift to that timeline. On Cybertron, the Autobots led by Optimus Prime face defeat against the Decepticons. Optimus sends Scout B-127 to Earth while he stays behind to fight. In 1987, B-127 crash lands in California, disrupting a Sector 7 exercise. Mistaken for a threat, B-127 flees but is ambushed by the Decepticon Blitzwing. After killing Blitzwing, B-127 scans a yellow Volkswagen Beetle before collapsing. Charlie Watson, grieving her father's death, finds the Beetle in a scrapyard and receives it as a birthday gift. She accidentally activates a signal attracting Decepticons, Shatter, and Dropkick, who seek B-127. The Beetle then transforms into Bumblebee, and Charlie befriends him. As Bumblebee's memories return, he and Charlie, along with her friend Mimo, try to evade capture. Bumblebee is, however, eventually captured by Sector 7, but Charlie and Mimo rescue him, and in a final battle, Bumblebee defeats Shatter and Dropkick. Charlie then says goodbye to Bumblebee as he transforms into a Camaro and drives off to reunite with Optimus Prime, who has come to Earth. Bumblebee is praised for his courage, and Charlie finds peace with her family. Eons ago, Unicron, the planet-devouring entity, attacks the Maximals' homeworld, seeking the Trans-Warp Key, which can open portals through space and time. The Maximal leader, Apeling, sacrifices himself, allowing Optimus Primal and surviving Maximals to flee to Earth with the key. In 1994 Brooklyn, ex-military electronics expert Noah Diaz tries to support his sick brother and stumbles upon Mirage, a disguised Autobot, while attempting to steal Mirage in its car form. Meanwhile, a museum intern, Elena Wallace, uncovers the Trans-Warp Key hidden inside an ancient statue. The key's energy pulse alerts both the Autobots and Terracons, Unicron's heralds led by Scourge. In the ensuing battle, Scourge kills Bumblebee and steals half the key. The Maximal Air Razor arrives, revealing that they have hidden the second half of the key in Peru. The Autobots and the Maximals end up battling Scourge, but he reassembles the key to open a portal for Unicron. Noah, with the aid of an injured Mirage, fights alongside Optimus Prime to stop the Terracons. Using the key, Bumblebee is able to return, turning the tides of battle. Optimus ends up destroying the key, collapsing the portal and saving the Earth while trapping Unicron. In the aftermath of the battle, Noah is recruited by G.I. Joe while Earth becomes the Autobots' new home. Alright guys, and that's it. That's the complete Transformers movieverse timeline. Hopefully you guys found this video informative. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Check out some of my other videos on here. We're doing more timeline videos, more breakdown videos. So if you guys like that kind of stuff, give us a subscribe. And until next time, peace.